Welcome back to the daily discussion. So I've heard a quote or a variation of a different quote, of the same quote, from several different people recently, and it's kind of really, I guess, speaks to me a lot. And it's what you say you want is not what you really want, because what you really want, you figure out how to get. And that was like really profound, because a lot of us go through this cycle of saying, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, or I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. But then we don't really ever go do it. But then there's something else that's maybe easier to achieve. So we go ahead and go after that and we get that. Or, hey, we really want that new phone. So we find a way to afford the new phone. Or we want this other service plan or streaming service or whatever it is. And we find a way to be able to afford that. Or we want to eat healthier, but we find a way to buy the junk food instead. So again, those things are what you actually want because you're finding a way to get them. Because you can choose differently. You can choose to go after something else instead. You can choose to buy that health food instead of the junk food. You can choose to forego that new phone so that you can, get something else that you actually need. So maybe a nice pair of clothes for a good interview or whatever the case is. But we don't do that because we don't really want those things. We just want to tell people we want them and not actually go after them, because it's easier to say what we want and not go after it than it is to go after it instead. Now, another way I've heard this similarly, or I guess maybe a follow-on to this, is stop telling people what you want and just go and get it. Because the more you tell people what you want, the less likely you are to actually go after that. Now, some people say to tell people what you want because it holds you accountable, but you have to tell the right people then. So it's kind of one of those catch-22s. Like, if you tell the right people what you want, they'll push you and drive you to get there. If you tell the wrong people what you want, they're just there to hear you out and know you're not going to go after it, and they're not going to push you. So you set it out into the world, it got you it off your chest, but then you don't actually put any actions into trying to get it. So there's kind of a little bit of a balance there. So anyway, I don't know who else needed to hear that today, but again, if you really want it, you're going to find a way to make it happen. So make it happen.